Question 5. What precisely happens to life force or divine light after the Akula Chakras? Answer. All the chakras below the Ajna Chakra are named as Akula Chakras. Only the chakras above Ajna Chakra are called Akula Chakra. There are a total 9 chakras above Ajna Chakra, including Unmani, Sasarara, Apex Center, and so on. The Udana Praana ascends up to Ajna Chakra through the Sushumna Naadi. Basically, after passing through Dhara, Vishuddhi, and Lambika, it must be a pure light at the Ajna Chakra. But generally, it reaches at this junction mixed with Udana Praana with subjugation of Jivatma, mind and Kundalini power. Gradually the mind gets dissolved here in the soul and Jiva is isolated and soul as pure light after conversion of Udana Praana as light travels up through the Akula Chakras, for mergence with the Supernal on crossing Chida Akasha. Principally travel of light through Akula Chakras must be with non-awareness as the spiritual aspirant should be in Turiya or transcendence state after crossing Sushupti state. But the ascendance even through Akula Chakras for most of the spiritual aspirants or sadhakas is mixed with Udana Praana and not as the pure divine light. It is partly with awareness and partly with unawareness. Even prana keeps partially its separate identity, and the sadhaka most of the time is in awakening transcendence or Jagrat Turiya state. It means the Kundalini even in Akula Chakras is the Maya. Kundalini is not in its pure form even at the Akula Chakras. It shows that yoga, tantra, dhyana or meditation have been performed with awareness. It may turn to unawareness or laya state or samadhi, or not, cannot be assured in totality. Even under this level of achievement, nectar of light from the cosmos pours through the apex center and feeds the rising Kundalini at the Akula Chakras. Even if Kundalini has arisen up to the lower chakras than the Ajna, nectar of light coming from an apex center is absorbed by the Kundalini on these levels. If the flow of this light from the apex center is stopped by any reason, human beings cannot live. This process of light, descent of light from apex center to the Kundalini is automatic and it is continued without stoppage even to an ordinary person. This cosmic light makes us alive until it is not absorbed by the Kundalini. If the Kundalini rises 3.5 coils above the apex center, this light is no longer absorbed by the Kundalini and it gets released. This light then spreads in the Chida Akasha, and a sadhaka is merged with cosmic light within him and he is inside the light. There is direct communication of cosmic light with the light in the Chida Akasha. It is the stage of mergence or laya and samadhi. As soon as the Kundalini descends down from the apex center, the light starts getting absorbed by the Kundalini and light is not allowed to get dissipated on the lower organs including linga. Human life thus continues. Rising of Kundalini is the spiritual evolution, and as well getting debarred from Maya is the main purpose of life. Furthermore, on raising the Kundalini, divine light descending from the apex center is absorbed directly by the Kundalini without much of its dissipation. Kundalini at the higher chakras or Akula Chakras after ascendance from Muladhara absorbs direct divine light, and thus all the divine qualities are poured or developed by much faster pace in the spiritual aspirant that leads to accelerated spiritual evolution in him. The effect of Maya, attachment, greediness, evil qualities, etc., gradually start diminishing from the built-in character of the sadhaka. Thus, the awakening of Kundalini and direct absorption of divine light from the cosmos accelerate achievement of illumination with divine qualities. Spirituality is the play of antipoles, that is Maya and the divine light. Maya is a part of Brahma. Evolution of sadhaka in Maya to divinity and manifestation of divine light in him makes himself realized and divine personality in course of time. The Udana Praana, when converted into light, gives energy to the brain cells. When prana or light spreads in each and every cell of the brain and makes it healthy with the adequate supply of oxygen. Prana also supplies energy to 72,000 nadis of the physical body, making it healthy and keeping its functions without any problems. Even the function of the body muscles is properly catered by the pranic energy. Prana contains the subtle energy of all the 5 elements, that is earth or food, water, fire or Agni, air, Akasha or ether, and these are appropriately distributed by the different pranas in the system. Prana also takes care of organic aspects of the system. It takes care of consciousness or chetna, and also carries soul light to Akula Chakras through Kundalini, and finally itself gets transformed into the divine light for further mergence with the supernal. Life force at the Ajna Chakra and onwards, that is in the Akula Chakra, is the divine light. Breath is suspended in the Akula Chakras. Only a part of light contains prana that gives slight awareness to sadhaka in meditation in the Turiya state. But in the state of total mergence or samadhi, there is no awareness, otherwise samadhi will not be real or Puran Samadhi. If one has experienced mergence, he cannot describe it. It is beyond description in all respects. It is only feasible when in the Akula Chakra, where prana is totally transformed into the divine light. Mukhya or main prana must be transformed into divine light, otherwise it will be a case that one has reached Ganga, but could not take bath. Kundalini, at this stage, if not properly directed, may act as a dangerous snake. It must bless the sadhaka coming out from the Brahmarandhra center, otherwise it may affect the various centers of the Akula Chakras. To achieve the above, the prana must contain only the Akasha element, and all other elements of the Udana Praana must be dropped before or at the Vishuddhi Chakra. Then only pure transformation of light can take place. Mind and jiva will be isolated, and pure soul light will ascend in the Akula Chakra that leads to the state of samadhi and mergence with the supernal. In short, beyond Akula Chakra, Kundalini blesses the sadhaka after taking out its snakehood above the apex center. In this stage, divine light spreads in the Chida Akasha, and breath is totally suspended. This leads sadhaka or spiritual aspirant to enter in the state of samadhi without awareness. He is then blessed with all the divine qualities. Finally, his soul merges with the supernal. He is then in Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa Samadhi.